I want to save as well. Okay, let me just save in downloads. Oh, no need. I want to put it in PDF so that I can open it here too. Let me copy this. Okay, we have the YouTube link, but I'm trying to do something. And, no. Yes. Okay, I think I'm. What the heck? I think I'm ready to share my screen now. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
We haven't seen it yet, sir.
You'll see it soon. It's up now, right? Okay. You can see my screen right now? Okay. Yes. Excuse me for 1 minute. 1 minute, please. Sorry guys, I'm back. So let's start officially. I'm having a bit of challenge here, but by the grace of God, we'll solve it. So are we all ready? Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, okay.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me go to my notes. Here is my notes. Let me go to my notes. So yesterday evening was the last time we met. And it was evening, morning rather. There was a bit of situation, so I had to leave. I think I treated this example that we have in this. I treated case one, and I told you to read up case two. So the good news is I'm not going to be teaching case two, right? Because I'm going to assume that you have already studied it. But if you have any question, feel free to let me know. You have 2 minutes to do that. 2 minutes. Any question on that case too? Something you do not understand? If at all you even went ahead to look at it. So my target today is to introduce swaps, right? But we are going to solve a question on forward rate agreements, being May 2018 question. Question 5. I think this is May 2018. Let me zoom this out as well. So I'll take your silence to be that there is no question. Yes, I promised. I remember my promise before. Some of you will say, "Sir, you told us this and that, but you did not fulfill." Yes, I remembered my promise, and I wanted to send the workings to the group, but I remembered something as well. You guys say that the things I'm doing here is not working, you are not picking up. So I made a promise that one of you will be the one solving it. So I said, okay, instead I will leave it. When we meet this evening, you will solve it so that you don't just go and copy my note and forget it. So that said, I want you guys to just assure me that on your table right there, wherever you are in the whole world, I know that there are people that are joining this class from the US, from UK, from you people are big people. So wherever you are in the world, just assure me that you have your book, your pen, and your calculator so that we can give this question a go. Do you have your writing materials? Because I want you to partake.
Yes, sir.
At least 3 persons. I know one person cannot speak for all. If you don't have your writing materials, I'll give you 2 minutes because I'll be dictating some of the things, right? Some of the things I'll dictate. So get your book and your pen. Okay, that's 2 persons. Okay, I'm seeing
We
a
have
good
it,
number
sir.
Yes,
We
of
have
yes,
it.
sir.
thumbs
Yes,
up
sir.
as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
so
have
that
it.
means we are all good to go. All right, all right. So a good Samaritan. That is okay. That's great. I love that. So like I said, I know you people are watching from all over the world. So somebody from diaspora, as they will say, a good Samaritan. Somebody in Samaritan or Samaria or whatever country is that. Please help us read this question. I don't want anybody in Nigeria. If you know you are in Samaria, because it's a good Samaritan that I want to read this question. So somebody should read it. Don't mind me. Ogeshu has left the meeting. Ogechi, why did you leave us? Ogechi, don't leave us. Oh. Okay, continue. Hey, I've not shared this thing, YouTube link. I don't think I've shared it to my WhatsApp people. I haven't. So let me share. This is 4. Let me share, then we'll come back here, right? So, so I've shared to everybody. I've shared it to everybody, so somebody can read for us now. Somebody can read for us now. Go ahead, please. Hey, connection lost. Why you? Guys, hello, guys.
Hello,
Hello,
sir.
guys. Are we still together? Sorry, my
Yes,
network.
sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. We are with you,
My,
sir.
net, my network was misbehaving. Sorry. So I'm back now. So can you see my screen, or I should share again? You can't, right?
We can, sir. We are
We
not
cannot
seeing
see.
your.
Can you share
Okay.
again?
Once it's up, let me know. Once it's up, let me know.
Yes, I stop.
I see it.
Okay, please. Okay, so as I was saying, somebody from Samaria, a good Samaritan, is who I need to read this question for me. If you are living in Lagos, Abeokuta, don't read it too. It's just people from Samaria.
I'm
I'm
living in
joking.
Samaria, sir.
Oh yeah, read it, read it. Thank you, good Samaritan.
Katangwa Limited. We
Oh,
need to borrow 50 million naira in 3 months, in 3 months' time, for a period of
oh,
6 months. The company is concerned that interest rates are expected to rise over the next few months.
okay.
Interest rates and forward rate agreements are currently quoted as follows. Spot rates 5.75 to 5.50.
Stop there, madam.
Three.
Stop there. Stop there. Stop there. Okay, who can tell me what those rates are? Who can tell me what those rates are?
You mean the first one, sir?
Yes, these rates that you mentioned, what are they?
It is the current rates for now, not the future one. The
Okay, you are
current market
correct.
rate.
You are correct, but somebody still tell me what I want to know what those rates are. Nobody. Is there anybody that wants to help?
So, are you asking of the spot rates?
Yes, those rates that they give to us, they give us
Will I be correct to
two
say
rates
it's
there, the
CBN
spot
rates?
rates. Yeah, what are they? CBN rates? No, it's First Bank rates. No, you're wrong, sir. That's not what I'm looking for.
I'll say those rates now. They are the rate at which those exchanges will be made. The future exchanges now. The rate at which they will be quoted now.
Okay, that's the third person. I'll take two more answers before I'll let you know. Before I'll tell you. Two more answers. I want two more persons to tell me what the rates are. Come on, give it a shot. If you don't get it, somebody say LIBOR. Hmm. Bros, it's Nigeria we are talking about though. So
That's not
Nigeria
like
have their own interbank rate, but it's usually called NIBOR, right? It's called NIBOR. So if you are looking at the international market, then we can talk about LIBOR. So if ICANN is giving you a question and they want to bring in something related to LIBOR, don't see LIBOR. See, you will see, don't expect LIBOR, you will see NIBOR, right? Nigeria Interbank Offer Rate. So, yes, go ahead.
the screen has gone, sir.
My screen has gone away. You can't see my screen.
Who can
Yes.
see it?
You are not sharing the. We can actually see it. You are not sharing the any material.
Somebody is very close. Somebody is very close. I saw something now.
Oh.
Somebody is very close. But I want specific words. Joshua Ajegbe. Sorry for the way I pronounced your name. I want it to be very specific. You are very close.
Buying and selling rate at different days.
Bid and ask price. Thank you. We are not looking at bid. I've told you whenever they are giving you this kind of question, yeah,
okay.
This is something we did in the last question too. When we're looking at those spot rates, I told you these are bid and ask. And the first one I told you is always bid and ask, not ask and bid. So the first one, 5.72 is your bid, 5.50 is your ask. Have this at the back of your mind. When they are giving you, they don't expect them to come and be throwing bid and ask every time. They can put it like this, but you need to know which one is which one. So these are the rates you can buy now. However, one is the rate you can buy now, one is the rate you can sell now. So they are both bid and ask. You get. Okay, continue, ma. Continue, ma.
Sorry, I muted myself. Sorry. 3 to 6 FRA, that is a foreign future rate. The something has gone again. The screen has gone.
Forward rate agreement. My screen is not showing.
Your screen is showing.
Your network is not good.
The question is not showing.
Your network is not good. So somebody with a stable network, please continue. Somebody with a stable network, please continue. Because we don't have time.
3 to 6 future rates agreements, 5.82 to 5.59. Then the third one, 3 to 9 future rate agreement, 5.94 to 5.64 required. Explain how a forward rate agreement may be useful to the company. Illustrate this on the basis that interest rates 1 rise to 6.5%. Roman figure 2 fall to 5.50%. 8 marks. B, compare the use of interest rate futures with future rate agreement in this instance. C,
forward rate agreement, FRO.
Yes, sir. Explain how interest rate guarantees or short-term interest rate cap could be used. That's all.
Okay. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, sir.
Now you have your book and your pen with you, right? So the question says Katangawa needs to borrow 50 million, right? In 3 months. They need to borrow 50 million in 3 months for a 6-month period, right? They need to borrow 50 million in 3 months for a 6-month period. And they are concerned about whether interest rates will increase. So they want to do what? Hedge, right? So you are the risk manager. They are now telling you that, okay, assuming you are going to use FRA, now they're giving you a clue already that FRA is what you will use to hedge, right? If you are going to use FRA to hedge, how will you hedge? That's what they are asking. Explain how FRA may be useful to the company. How will FRA help the company to hedge their position? With 2 scenarios. The example I gave you yesterday on FRA too, I think I gave you 2 scenarios. So we're always looking at the upside and the downside. Number 1, they say if interest rate rise to 6.5%, how will the company hedge so that they, if it rises to 6.5%, they will be paying more loan. Abi? They will be paying more interest rather. And if it falls to 4.5, they will pay less. So now we want to understand how will FRA help the company to hedge this position. Does everybody understand the requirements first? Requirement A. Because that's the first thing I told you. You must always understand what the problem is. How will the company be able to hedge if interest rates increase to this amount or falls to that other amount? That's the two situation that we are going to face now. First thing you need to know, yesterday when I was teaching you FRA, I told you about 3 things, and I told you that one of them is me bringing it in, that you will not see it like that in your textbooks or even in this material. Number 1 is your planning period. Did I mention something like that? Good. I mentioned your planning period. That is when you start thinking of taking that loan, and when you start making steps of taking the loan. You have that planning period covers when I am thinking that I want to take this money, and the things that I will do to get that money. Call the bank, all those things, all those are involved in your planning period. Then we have the start date, right? The start date is the day that the loan becomes effective. The day the loan becomes effective. Then we also have what? The end date. That's the day the loan finishes. So take these 3 periods into cognizance. If I were you, I would be writing this thing. I'm not dictating, but write it. Whether you wrote it yesterday or you did not, but write it, the 3 periods. Because when you are giving an FRA question, one of the things that throw people off balance first is to determine the period involved, right? To determine the period involved. So if you have your start period, let's say your start period is January. And what do they say? What does the question say? They say it's 3 months, right? It's 3 months that they say Katangawa will need to borrow 50 million in 3 months' time. So first thing you need to do, if they are borrowing that loan in 3 months' time, where are you now? You can decide to pick any time that you want, but you know that from the day that you are picking, you calculate 3 months period before the loan starts. Are you guys getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's assume for simplicity, let's use the easiest period. Let's go back to the beginning of the year. So let's assume that our planning period is January 1st. We started planning from January 1st to what? End of March, right? From the beginning of January to the end of March is our 3 months period. That is our planning period. You write that down, planning period. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to ask yourself, when is this loan ending? When is this loan starting? Is it starting in so period? So that would be April, right? 1st of April. So loan starts 1st of April. If I were you, I'm writing all these things. So loan starts 1st of April. When will that loan end? When will that loan end? For a 6 month,
June. Okay,
for a
September.
6 month period, right?
September.
October.
So
September,
if the loan will
September,
end
for 6
before,
months.
September.
yes,
September.
okay, so it will end in September. So you already know that from January to September, we are looking at 9 months. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
From now till September, we are looking at what? 9 months. Do you get me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, from January to April 1st, we are looking at 3 months. So it means that our FRA is going to fall within 3 to 9 months. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, the first thing I have done is to eliminate one of these options that they gave us here for the different FRAs. I have eliminated 3 to 6 months because it is very easy. Somebody in this question, they say 3 months to 6 months period. So it's very easy for somebody to just pick 3 to 6 months, but you need to know how to compute the time frame of your FRA. So you are always starting from the beginning, from the planning period. Calculate the number of months. So if they say the FRA is 0 to 3 months, you know that it's from January, the FRA is going to be from January to March. If they say the FRA is going to be 2 to 6 months, it's going to be what? From March, right? From March to what? To June. Do you get the logic? Please get this part
Yes, sir.
first. If you don't get this part, every other thing will not make sense. I'm not going to rush. I want somebody to ask me a question. Somebody just ask me any question. If you don't ask me any question, we will not continue. I want somebody to be confused about what I've just explained. Tell me that you are confused, you don't understand it, so that I can explain again. Tell me what is confusing you about it.
We're not
Sir, please, can
confused.
you
Sir.
explain this
Nobody
planning
is
period
confused,
again?
Abi.
Yes,
Eh?
it's clear,
I
sir.
didn't get you.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we are
Somebody say
confused
something.
though. Please explain again.
Okay. What part are you confused?
The
How you got
planning
to limit?
period, just everything, yeah. How you got
Okay.
that
You see,
3 to
somebody
9
say we are
months?
not confused. Okay, good. For somebody say we are not confused now, but somebody has mentioned that we are confused. If you are solving anything FRA and you miss the time, my brother, you will be wrong, because that time is what will determine which of the FRA you will use. You get that time is what will determine which of the FRA you will use. Yes. Okay. You guys will spare me. If you can see from your screen, see where my mouse is, my cursor is. You can see how low my battery is here. Okay, Nigeria, NEPA is giving me wahala here. So I need to get an alternate source of energy so I can power up my system. Okay, so spare me a minute or two. I'll be back with you. Okay, just spare me a minute or two. I'll be with you. Please, I saw somebody say, does it mean FRA starts from the planning period? The word planning period is used in this class. So don't go and write in icon that I told you planning period. I'm just using it to make a point to you. It's like now. Now. Don't go and write there that planning period. So just now. Normally it's time 0 that they put in this thing. You get. Don't now planning period. I'm only using it in this instance or in this class to make it very easy and simple for you guys to understand. It's not a pen that is used in this for this purpose. You get. But if I start saying time 0 and time or now and all those things, it might throw some people off balance. That's why I'm giving you an introducing it as another period. So let me get my system generator on. Coming. Somebody wants to join. So spare me a minute. I'm coming. I am back. I took long, Abby. Hello.
No, sir, you're welcome, sir.
Okay.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome, sir.
So your system is still not charging now.
Yes, it will charge now. Very, very soon it will charge. Is it charging now?
Yes, I
Is
found.
it charging,
Yes.
my guy? It's charging. Okay. I feel like Superman. All right. So there's there is somebody that says she did not understand that, right? So the period, like I said, admit 4 people. Like I said, when you are looking at the period of this thing, start from now. Start from now. Now is what I am telling you as your time, your planning. Planning. Just have that at the back of your mind. It is not a concept for this purpose. Have it at the back of your mind. Your planning is now. Now your planning is a time now till when you have actually finalized all the process to get the loan. The start date is the day that the loan will start, that the money is disbursed to your account. You have the money, right? That's the start date. The end date is the date that the loan is completed, the tenure of the loan is completed. Now, when you are calculating the start date, you are computing from now to when the loan started. And when you are computing the end date, you are computing from now to when the loan ended. So we are looking at the full cycle of that loan, not just the period that the loan started and ended. We are looking at the full cycle, the whole event that led to you seeking that loan. That's what we are taking into cognizance. So you are looking at the very beginning of the loan. The start date is the day the loan started, and the end date is the day the loan ended. So when we come back to the question and they say Katangawa Limited will need to borrow 50 million, from the day they have this need is the day you are taking, not the day that they took the loan, the 3 months that it started, right? So from the day they had this need for it, this need here is your start date, is your planning period, right? Now they say they will need to borrow 50 million in 3 months time. So the day from this need to the day that these 3 months starts, the day that this loan start is a period on its own. It can be 2 months, it can be 1 month, it can be 3 months. However, from what they are giving us in this example, they've told us that it starts in 3 month time. So the example that I was painting for you, I told you that you can decide to, since they didn't give you a specific date, you can decide to fix a date to this question. You can say, okay, the day I had the need is January. The day I collected the loan is 1st of April, right? The day that the loan ended is because it's a 6 months loan. So if it's starting in April and end in this thing
September.
in September, from April to September is 6 months. However, from the day of the need to the end of the loan is 9 months. Am I making sense? So with this now, I believe everybody is fine.
Papi, where did you get the 9 months?
Madam, go.
The number of months.
I said it's the beginning of the day that you have this need. So if we are applying dates to this now, let's say the beginning, stop laughing, please. She has a need. She asked, is a fair question. Please. So the day that you have the need is January. Now I'm the one bringing in dates. They didn't give us dates, right? Let's say the day that you have the need is January, 1st of January. From January to September is 9 months. Do you get now? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. It's 9 months. Do you get now?
Yes, I understand, but you don't understand my question. What I mean by why is it 9 months? Is it because they wrote 3 to 9 months for us here? Because if it's on a normal day, I can decide to choose my this planning period to be from January to July. That's 7 months on its own. If I add extra, or is it supposed to be within a space of 1 year? That's my confusion. Like in a different question, am I supposed to look at the periods given here? I'm answering another question that is not this question.
Okay, let's remove this question. Let's come here and say, if they say your FRA is 0 to 3 months in a 1 year period. So our first month in the year is January, right? January 25. So let's see. This one has taken us to 2026. So this is, they say your FRA is 0 to 2, right? According to you now, according to what I've explained, what do you understand by 0 to 2?
0 to 2 should be that should be
Give me
the
in
period, the
dates.
loan
In
period.
dates. It should be in what?
In date,
Mm,
0 to 2 will be like January 1st to February 28th. That's two
good.
months.
So if they now come here and say the loan should be, the FRA should be 2 to 5, what period covers this? What period covers this? From what you just told me now. From what you, 2
February
to
to
5.
June.
February to June. Good.
Mm.
Why is this thing doing anyhow now? Oh, guy is not there to give me number. 0 to 2. So February to June, right? Oh, 2 to 5 was what I put here. What the hell is wrong with this thing? 2 to 5. Okay. 2 to 5. I've told you it's not date, and you are still giving me date. 2 to 5. Let me put it like this, so I don't waste our time. 0 to 2. So this one, he say is February. Is what? Did he say is February? February to June.
Yes, February. Yes.
Okay, I will correct you on this one. This one now, they are now trying. This one will now say that. So you are not, the planning is, this the way we are looking at it is like at the end of the period. That's when the loan starts. So if they say it's 0 to 2, that means the loan is starting in the 1st of March, not February
From March.
precisely. Yes, because the 2 now, it now represent the like January, February.
Yeah.
So it is actually starting from March. So if we come here, it means you are getting the idea now. If we come here and say 4 to 9, 4 to 9, what are we talking about here? May is the beginning, and the loan is beginning
Yes,
in May,
May
and
to
then it's ending in September.
September.
Do you get the logic? So the periods before May
Yes.
is your planning period. That is what I'm telling you. So any question you see, once you have this idea, you know what they are talking about. If they go ahead to help you and give you dates of when it is starting and when it is ending, perfect. But if they don't give you, use this logic. So if we bring that
Okay,
logic
so
into
which means,
go ahead, which means what?
to clarify myself, I should like look out for this 3 to 6, 3 to 9 FRA
They will
something in
always
every
give you
question.
the period,
Like it may
3 to
it may not
6,
be three
3
to
to
six.
9, 5 to 7. Anyhow they want to do it, they will give you, but know how to calculate it.
Do it.
That's what I'm doing here.
Oh, okay.
So like
Okay,
this
so
one now, they say
example, if it's like
Katangawa will need to borrow 50 million in 3 months' time. So in 3 months' time, they will need to borrow either at the end of the last day of March or the first day of April. But for your own safety, use the first day of April. You understand? That is when the cutoff
yes, sir.
actually begins.
Mm,
You understand? So the cutoff
yes,
actually
sir.
begins. So that is how we apply it. So that is the logic behind this now. So with what we've done, I believe everybody is fine now. Because if you miss this part, you will keep asking me question and question and question, and I don't want to. Please, I'm seeing some hands raised up. Please, if you just want to contribute, don't bother. Okay. If you want to contribute, and that means explain what I've explained further, except you have a question. But if that is what you want to do, explain what I've already explained further. Don't bother. Okay. Thank you. I think the first number is the planning period. Subtract the first number for the second number. The answer is the loan period. Sir, am I correct? You are correct. You are correct. You are correct, because we'll still apply that logic, right? So another thing you can do is just add the two numbers, right, that they are giving you. If you add the two numbers, you'll be able to tell the last time, the last date of
Yeah,
that loan,
that
or
was
the last.
about to be my
So
question.
if you say 3 plus 6, that is what when I was
Plug
writing
in.
my ICANN and other exams that required me to, that's what I usually do. I just add the two. So 3 plus 6, right? 3 plus 6 is going to give me 9. So that is my ending period. Then I will now go back to January. That is in a case where they did not give you this. So, and then just take 3 months forward, so you know your beginning period. You'll be able to tell. But once you say 3 to 9 and 3 plus 9, it has already given you an idea where your FROA falls. So if you just do 3 plus 9 and 3 plus 6, you're already sure that your FROA falls between 5.94 and 5.64. Do you get? So please, we've taken time on that. So I believe everybody is fine now. Please, you people should be joining early. I don't like when we have gone far and getting serious, then we are always coming back to this place just to add some persons. Join early, please. It's advisable to always be punctual. Okay, so we already
Sometimes
have this.
network can log you out.
Oh yeah. That's another thing too. It happens to me too. Yeah, you are right. So we are already sure of the period, right? We know the period. So we have the information. So I told you about the bid, right? So in the question, since Katangawa wants to borrow, what would they do? Since they want to borrow, what would they do? They have to lock in a borrowing rate, right? To protect against rising rates. Because they want to borrow, they have to lock in to
Yes,
protect against what? To protect against what? The rates rising.
increase in the rate in future.
So they have to borrow to lock in against the rate rising, right? Does that make sense? Sorry, what am I saying?
Yes,
They
sir.
have to
Yes,
borrow
sir.
to lock in the FROA to protect them against rising rates, because that is where
Yes,
their fear actually is. Do you get?
Yes.
Okay. So write this down. I believe you've been writing everything that we have explained, right? Why we are using the 9 months period, where our start date is, what our end date is, why it is a 9 months period. So write this down. Since the company wants to hedge against borrowing rates increase, it will buy, or in brackets, ask the 3 to 9 months FROA. It will buy or ask the 3 to 9 months FROA.
So please come again. Say since the company wants to hedge against borrowing rates.
They want to hedge against borrowing rate increase. Since they want to hedge against borrowing rate increase, it will buy or ask the 3 to 9 months FRA. Do you get what this is saying?
Yes, sir.
Do you get? Okay, so let me explain. Now you know that the company is going to borrow money, and for them to borrow, they have a finance cost that will incur, which is the interest rate. Now they are scared that the interest rates will increase, and if it increases, their exposure is going to be higher, right? To increase their now they want to hedge with the FRA. When we were explaining the FRA, we say, what do you do when you are using the FRA? You know, the loan is different too. The loan is different. You are using the FRA to hedge that exposure. If interest rates increase, you will pay higher on your loan. But when you now go and use the FRA,
Sorry.
yes, when you now go and use the FRA, I'm coming. Let me be explaining this from here.
You'll be compensated.
Settlement. Is this this is what I wanted to bring in. So you are the one borrowing, right? You are the one borrowing. How do you use the FRA to hedge? You want to be in a situation where if the market rate is higher than if the market rate, which is the spot rate, is higher than the FRA, you will be receiving a compensation. Why will you be receiving a compensation? That compensation is to compensate you for the loan that you will lose money on, the additional interest. Now we are coming back to our bid and our ask price. I told you that they gave us two prices here. We have at the point of spot, we have 5.75, we have 5.50, right? These are the market interest rates as at that day, as at your planning day. These are the market interest rates. Now, this is your market interest rate too. But all these prices on the left-hand side, they are your bid prices, right? All these prices on the buyer prices, I mean interest rate too. So 5.75, all those, they are interest rates. They are your ask, right? Now, the notes I gave to you, I said that if the where did I write it? I want to get it word for word. Since the company wants to hedge against borrowing rates increase, it will do what? It will ask. So because you are going to hedge, you will now go and do what? You will buy the FRA. You will buy the FRA. By buying the FRA, it means that you, in this case, you are the one that is asking. You get? So you buy the FRA for 3 to 9 months. So since we have bid on this right, and we have left, and we have ask on this right, we have bid on the left, we have ask on the right, right? If we have this situation and you are going to ask, which rate will you now use? Which rate will now become your FRA rate?
5.9.
5.64.
I'm hearing different things.
5.94.
Some are saying 5.94, some are saying 5.64. Which one are we going to use?
5.64.
5.94.
5.94. Okay, our brother that say 5.94, why is it 5.94? Somebody will also explain why it is 5.64. Why is it 5.94?
You just said borrow is to ask, right? And the one at the left is ask, the one at the right is bid. And whenever we are borrowing, if you look at it from the bank, we are always at the negative side. We always choose a rate that affects us negatively because the bank will
No, no,
profit
no,
the
no, no,
more.
no, no. Let me stop
So,
you there. You are mixing it all up. You are mixing it all
okay.
up. The company is borrowing on the loan. The company is borrowing on the loan, right? I'm coming on. The company is borrowing on the loan. I want to see something. Okay. The company is borrowing. They are collecting a loan, right? If you are borrowing, when you now go to the hedging part, you want to hedge, you ask. And we have always explained that when you are asking, you are buying. And I've told you that whenever they are giving you a question and you have rates, different rates, one is bid, one is ask. Usually, I've made this statement several times. It is bid ask. There is nowhere you will see ask bid. So whatever you know, you see rates like this, what comes to your mind is bid ask. Bid ask. So the bid is our selling rate. If we are selling, it means somebody is buying from us, right? But the ask for on our part now is we are buying. So somebody is selling to us. There is a from and there is a to. So when it is ask, we are buying from someone. Someone is selling to us. You get? So because we are borrowing, what we can use to hedge is the ask price in this FRA. So the ask is 5.64 in this 3 to 9 months FRA. For this 3 to 6 months, the ask is 5.59. The spot rate ask is 5.50. The spot rate bid is 5.75. The 3 to 6 months bid is 5.82. The 3 to 9 months bid is 5.94. But since we are interested in the ask, we are going to use 5.64. So this is the rate that we will use to hedge. Am I making sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Lucky, you understand now, right?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, that's good. We have that much. That much. Now the question now what? 6.5, right? The raise the question AI
5.6.
say the rate the right 6.5 now. I'm sure I want you guys. This is the rate I'm talking about now. They say rise to 6.5. Sure that you
Yeah,
are following me now.
we are following.
If you, so that you don't come and tell me the rate rose to 6.5. We have done the logic why we are taking 3 to 9 months FRA. We have also gotten the logic why we are asking at 5.64. Now the question is now saying if the rate rise to 6.5, right? That's what the question is saying. So the rate rose to 6.5. Are we all at this point now with me?
Yes, we
Yes,
are
sir.
with you.
Yes, sir.
The rate rose to 6.5. Our loan amount is what? 50 million. Our loan amount is 50 million. The loan period is 6 months. If I were you, I would be all this information into it again. The loan amount is 50 million, right? The period is 6 months. So 6 months is how many? Is how many? 6 months is how many? Is how many years?
0.5.
Half year.
Uh, half a year.
0.5.
Half a year.
6 months is 0.5. Okay, 6 months is 0.5
Yeah.
5 years, right? Good. Now let's come to the note again. I want you to look at FRA settlement. interest rate risk and in fixed borrowing. How it works, the borrower logs in on the settlement date, blah, 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 blah. So from this example now, we can tell that that question AI is this situation, right? You can already tell that question AI is this situation, right?
Yes.
We can already tell. But this is what we are dealing with first, right? This compensates for any difference. Settlement time on the start date. Usually, FRA are settled on the start date. So anywhere you see any FRA, the date of settlement, the period of settlement. I told you there can be two settlements. Number one is FRA settlement in arrears. That one will just pay the amount. Or is FRA settlement, you will need to discount that figure. Did I mention this to you guys yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So, if you come back to this question, the time of borrowing, Katanga Limited will need to borrow 50 million in 3 months' time for a period of 6 months. The company is concerned that interest rates are expected to rise and forward rates are currently quoted as follows, blah, blah, blah. Explain this. So they did not give us the time of settlement. So what do we do? They did not give us the time of settlement. So what do we do? Answer now. Damn it, you guys are unbelievable. What is it now? I just told. They did not give us.
We'll find it.
We assume that the settlement will be at the end of the period.
Yes, that's what you at the beginning. FRA are usually settled at the beginning. So if they do not give you the settlement, except they go ahead and tell you that the settlement is at the end before you assume that it is settled in arrears. But once they do not give you the time, or even if they go ahead and mention it, but if they at the beginning, the FRA is settled at the beginning because it is at the beginning of the loan that you even know the interest rates that you are paying now. You understand? Not at the planning period. It is when the loan starts, the bank will now tell you that, okay, you'll be paying 12% per annum or 15% or whatever, or in this case, 6.5%. You understand? So in your planning period, this is the rate you have paid bank that you want to take the loan. The bank has now given you 6.5. So the FRA that you have already gone into in your planning period, you will now use it to hedge this rate. Do you bring in this formula? We will not bring in this formula. So everybody write this out. Now, my voice is cracking. Okay. Is it my voice or my network?
Sorry,
Are
sir.
you guys hearing me clearly?
This particular material, did you send it to us, sir?
Bros. I send my material every day, but I did not send today because it's the same material from yesterday. I did not update it. It's when we want to
Sorry,
have when it's clear. So the same
we are
material
not
from
all
yesterday.
available yesterday, sir. Sorry.
Or I go back to the group and pick the material now. What I sent to the group yesterday. What I sent to the group yesterday. Go back and pick it. That reminds me. Some persons came to my DM. I saw your messages that you lost your phone, one thing, that you lost your phone, and as a result, you've lost access to the previous videos. So I should send you a compilation of the videos and all. So if you understand, this class has been going on for 2 months, 3 months thereabouts, and there's been a series of videos, right? And on my part, I don't save all the videos. It's on YouTube. That's what I believe, that you can just go to YouTube and pick it up. However, I understand that in YouTube, it's scattered. It's here and there and all over the place. We'll put them together. We've done that for like the first half of the lecture. We are still going to put the remaining half together so that you have a single file that will just give you all the videos. So I am appealing to you. It's not that I didn't want to respond to you. I promised myself I'll address it in the class here. I'm appealing to you. Just DM KABIRU, right? You'll be in a better position to help. However, I'm still going to take my time. It's a lot of work for me, but I'll take my time and put it together. But it's not something that I can guarantee you that I will do this week. That's my problem. So for now, use the notes. Go to YouTube and try to get the videos. Each video has a topic. So if you are in a particular topic and you go to YouTube, just search for that topic. It will come out. So if you go there and search FROE, and we are doing FROE, you see, I think FROE we've heard like one yesterday and today. We've held a few classes on FROE. You see them there. So please, my apologies. But you get what you are asking for, but not immediately, please. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So back to what we are doing here. Where were we? So I was explaining why we need to bring in this formula, why we need to bring in the settlement at the time of borrowing. So you are going to discount that. So this is the formula, your R quarterly. So it's going to be 6.5, right? It's going to be 6.5 minus what? Minus 5.64, right? Times 50 million times the period. You get times the period. So it's going to be 6.5. That's your numerator. 6.5, because you know this loan is for the 6 months. Is for 6 months, right? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so we
sir.
are going to 6.5 minus 5.4 times 50 million times the period of 6 months, which is 0.5.
Come again on the formula again, please.
Now I'm explaining the numerator.
Yes, sir.
I'm explaining this numerator. It's going to be 6.5 minus your FROA, right? This R quarterly, or what, this thing is the rate that you have for that and this thing, right? Which in this question is 6.5, right? Yeah, minus your notional value. This still explains what we have here. It still explains this, right? But remember why we explained it that yesterday, why we have to discount it, right? So we said that everything you are bringing it back to the planning period, right? So you have to discount it down to the present time. So that's why we have this. So we have 6.5 minus 5.64 times your notional value, which is 50 million, times your planning period. So have we taken that down?
Sorry, you said
Yes,
50
sir.
million times planning period.
No, times the period that they gave you now, which is 0.5. 0.5
Okay.
represents 6 months. That's the period of the
So
loan, the time of the loan.
50 million times 0.5. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, will our FRA be 5 points? Okay, 64. Okay.
So what do we have?
For the numerator,
201878.
Eh?
500. 21,500,000 for the numerator.
21 million 500,000.
500,000.
Is that correct? I'm coming on.
For
Let
the
me do my own
numerator.
calculator.
Yes, sir, she's correct.
I'm coming. Let me verify your value. So what are we doing here? It's 6.5, right? That's 0.0. 0.065 minus what? 0.0564. 0.0564, right? This will give us how many? 0.086, right? Times 50 million. 50 million times this 430,000 times 0.5. So 215,000. How are you getting 21 million?
I didn't do if I did 6.5 minus 5.64 straight up, I didn't change it back to 0 point. I didn't change it back to the rate.
You would have divided your answer by 100 if that was what you did before you multiply.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be 0.0. So this is what we should have, 215,000. How many of you got 215,000? Okay, Judy, Tayomide. Okay.
So is it the final answer of the numerator?
No, that's just your numerator.
I got 258 too.
258, you are not correct, sir.
Can those who get it repeat that numerator for us again? I know I have 6.5 minus 5.64.
Calm down. It's not 6 point. This thing is in percentage now. It's interest rate now.
6.5 divided by 100. That's
Calm down. You know it's interest rate we are looking at.
Yes.
It's interest rate, so it has to be divided by 100. So it's just not 6.5 minus 5.64. It's 6.5% minus 5.64%.
Okay, I'm following you, sir.
So let me zoom out my Excel. Make everything plain. You get what I'm saying? Is 0.065, right? And then here we have 0.0564. So we do this guy minus this guy will give us this, right? Multiply it by 50 million. We have 50 million here. 50 million. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 50 million. Multiply these two guys. This times this. You have 430,000. Half of 430,000, which is 6 months period, right? This is this guy times 0.5. You have 215. This is how we arrived at the 215. Do you get?
Yes, sir. I think the mistake they are making is the fact that they did not observe that percentage. They work it
Yes,
directly. That's why they
it's an
got the
interest
answer.
now. It's an interest. So you don't need to be
If they
told.
work it like
All
that,
these things that
it
they
will
wrote
come
here is
out.
interest rate. So once you are dealing with interest rate, you have to know that it's percentage. It's not this thing. But even here, they put it at 6.5%. So you should know that this 6.5 is percentage. The percentage sign is there. Are we good? Okay. So now, the next thing we are going to do is look at the denominator, right? So let me look at the denominator here. So what is our denominator? 1 plus Aru quarterly, right? Is that not so? So it's now going to be 1 plus 0.065 times 0.5. You get?
Sir, come again.
is going to be 1 plus your denominator, 1 plus open bracket 0.065 times 0.5. That's 0.5. You remember is representing your 6 months period, right? Do we have a value?
Yes, sir.
What do you have?
0.5.
1.0325.
One person. You have 1 point what?
0.0325.
1.0325.
1.0. If you have 0.0, you are wrong. You cannot have 1 plus and you're having 0.0 is impossible, mathematically impossible. So it means you have not added the one there. So it needs to be one point something. So a couple of persons have given me 1.032.
1.03.
1.0325.
Good. So are we all? Do we all have an agreement that the denominator is 1.0325?
Yes, sir.
We do. Is anybody
Hello, sir.
confused? Yes.
Hello, sir.
I'm with you, Adams.
Sir, I still don't get how we arrive at that 0.5 for our 6 months.
How many months do you have in 1 year?
6
12.
divided by 12.
You have 12 months, right? Now, 6 out of 12 months is what?
Sir?
6 out of 12 months is how many months? Is what?
6 months, sir.
6 months. 6
Yes,
out of 12 is it not half of it? 6 is half
6
of 12
divided
now.
by 12.
So it's the same thing. Half is the same as 0.5 or 1/2, whichever way you want to see. So this is
sir.
So it's just simply 6 divided by 12.
Okay.
You get?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
So is that the only thing that we are confused about now? So we can proceed, right? So everybody is good.
Excuse me,
Again
sir.
with the denominator, the denominator.
The
Excuse
denominator.
me, sir.
Yeah, how they got it?
1. Are you writing? Do you have a book and pen with you?
Yes, sir.
Do 1 plus open bracket 0.065 times 0.5. This is just simple present value now. Just discount. That's what we are doing here. You get? Just a simple present value. All of you here know present value. So it's just that. You get?
So I'm getting 0.532.
Work on your bracket first, please. Do 0.065 times 0.5. You should have 0.325. Then you now add 1 to it. Thank you. You should arrive at our answer. So if we have our numerator at 215,000 and our denominator as 1.0325. So we divide that 215,000 by 1.0325. Somebody should have done that already. Give me value.
208,232.
232.
208,232.
232. Okay, me, I have 208,212. So we'll just call it approximation and differences, right? Which is still almost the same.
Yes, sir.
So we are all good with 208, right? Whatever you have by your side should be around 212 or 232 or something. But we are all fine with 28,000, right?
So this figure that we calculated now is called what? Is it payment for?
It's called this figure because I told you it's called this figure. It's called this figure here. What we just calculated. So now you know this figure, this 208 that we have. Katangawa will do what? What will he do? He will pay it, Abi. Will he pay it?
Yeah.
Did you say yeah?
He will receive
He's borrowing.
he will receive it from the person that will compensate him
You
for
will
his
receive
loss.
it from the counterparty. Why is he receiving this money? Don't forget the idea. The question says, explain how FRA agreement may be useful to the company. Because they have gone into this FRA at 5.64. Interest rates increase to this. What does it mean? By interest increasing to this, it means they will have to pay more interest on the loan that they entered than what they planned for. They will pay more interest on the loan that they entered, way more than what they planned for. So to compensate for that, they will receive this money. That's why it is said here that if actual market rate is greater than FRA, so it means that at the time when this loan became effective, the actual rate, which is 6.5, is greater than the forward rate agreement. So they are going to receive this money to compensate for the additional money they are paying on the loan. How are they compensating? They planned not to pay interest more than 5.6%, but as it is, they are paying more than 5.6. So by what they have done, they are only hedging their position. So they are making sure that they will only, so at the end of the day, because the difference between this and this will be used to pay that loan, they have secured the interest at 5.64. Am I making sense?
Yes.
That is what we are doing. So we have to discount it because we are paying at the beginning. You are paying at the beginning of the loan period, so you have to discount it. You know, this loan is 3 months, and sorry, it's 6 months. So we pay interest for, so the interest will pay for all the months, blah, 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 blah months. We bring it back to the beginning and settle. That is why we have to discount. Because it is said here that FRA is usually settled at the beginning. But if they say now tell you that it is settled at the end, or this thing, you use in arrears, you don't need to discount anything. So this is what we just did to discount it. So we have the value that we have got, that we are going to receive. Katangawa is going to receive 218 and 208, 212. Right? So the effective rate due to FRA, you can write this down. Katangawa receives 208, add the other part of it, 208,000. Whatever value you get from your own computation, we agree on 208. Now I have 20812 and 212. If you have 28313, is your business. Add the other part. So 208,000 from FRA counterparty. But they still pay 6.5% interest on the actual loan. However, they receive FRA settlement to offset the higher costs. I'm reading that again. Katangawa receives 208,000 from FRA counterparty. Katangawa receives 208,000 from FRA counterparty, but they still pay 6.5% interest on the actual loan, but receive FRA settlement to offset the higher costs. Therefore, effective rates, therefore, ... Therefore,
Sorry,
effective rate,
You are too fast. We are not getting you. You are too fast.
I'm starting from the top again. Katangawa receives 208,000 from FRA counterparty. They receive 208,000 from FRA counterparty, but they still pay 6.5% interest on the actual loan. They receive 208,000 from FRA counterparty, but they still pay 6.5% on the actual loan. Please, if you are a slow writer, just go back to the video. Don't continue bringing us back over this, right? We've already spent a lot of time on just this one question. I'm not saying that you shouldn't ask questions, but please, let's not dwell on just one small thing. This is a very simple thing to write. You can even think of it. This is what is just explaining your answer, right? So it's something you can think of and explain why you are having this value. So that's what I'm saying. Katangawa receives 208,000 from FRA counterparty, but they still pay 6.5% interest on the actual loan. they pay 6.5% interest on the actual loan, but receive FRA settlement to offset the higher cost. The higher cost is 6.5%. They are receiving FRA settlement to offset this cost. So why are they receiving this 208,000? Is to offset the cost of 6.5%, the higher cost. We get. Therefore, I'm not going back to that again. Nobody should call me back. If you do not get anything from there, get from somebody else. Therefore, effective rate is equal to 6.5% minus 0.86% is equal to 5.64%. Please put that percent in. Therefore, effective rate 6.5% minus 0.86% is equal to 5.64%. Hence, protecting hedge against rising, or protected hedge against rising. Hence, protected hedge against rising. So the effective rate, because of this hedge, the actual rate that they pay is 5.64. That's what I'm just saying there. Effective rate 6.5% minus 0.86. This 0.86 is still gotten by doing 5.64 minus 6.5 minus 5.64. Right? It's the same thing. But I just want to show the effective rate, what they are actually paying. Effective rate is 6.5% minus 0.86 is equal to 5.64. Protected hedge against rising. Now, we still have the other B part. We have only succeeded in looking at this one. So that's why I'm saying, dragging me back over this simple explanation. It's unnecessary. And we have less than 40 minutes to go. So let's move to II. We'll see do B and C. There's a lot of work, so let's speed up, please. If you are a slow writer, my dear, just try. Maybe you go back to the video, listen, and update your notes, right? The YouTube link is there and all. So let's look at this other one. Ordinarily, the kind of person I am, I would have told you to go and do this one and give me your answer. And I believe most of you can do this one already with what we have done. But for the sake of carrying you along, we'll look at it together. Right? Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next one that they gave us, they say the rate is what? 4.5, right? Ordinarily, you should have done 4.5 minus 5.64 by now. What do we have?
$1.14.
Okay. You have 1.14, right? So you do the numerator the same way we did the numerator. Do the numerator with that 1.14 and give me your value. Do the numerator. You know how we did the first one?
Are we not supposed to convert it to rate?
Yes, now it's percentage now. It's 1.14. So this is 4.5% minus 5.64%. 1.14%. So convert it to 0.014114. Do the value. Give me the answer. The numerator. What do you have for numerator of that formula? The same way we did it.
285,000.
285,000. Okay. Is there somebody else with another answer? Do we all have 285,000? There's somebody that is struggling with 285,000. Ayomide got 285,000. Who else got 285,000?
I did.
I got 285,000.
Okay, so we are all good with 285,000. Now give me the numerator. Give me the numerator. Give me the numerator.
Is the numerator that is 285,000?
Eh? Hey, sorry, denominator. Give me denominator.
One point zero two two.
1.0225.
1.0225. Now give me your answer.
Two 278,729.
278,729. Is that what we all have?
Yes.
278,729. Okay, me, I have 278,049. It's fine.
Two
It's fine.
278,029.
You have 29. Okay, it's okay. So we are all agreeing at 278,000. We are good at 278K. Okay, so we are good at 278K. Now, my next question, is it you that will pay your FROA counterparty this 278K, or you will receive it from your FROA counterparty?
Katangwa will pay
No, you
counterpart.
pay.
Eh?
You pay counterpart. You pay.
Katangwa will pay
Yeah.
Counterparty.
Good. Katangwa will pay the
You're
other
paying it.
party, right? Why? What is the logic behind paying? Why are they paying the money?
Interest.
Hmm?
You pay less interest.
Because they are paying less interest
Because
on the loan.
the
You good. So they are gaining from the loan, right? Because they are gaining from the loan. So what is the effective rate? Good. There is a fall in interest. So the effective rate is still 5.64. And now in this case, the effective rate is 4.50 plus 1.14 to give us that 5.64. So the effective rate that they are paying is 5.64. The effective rate is 4.50 plus 1.14. You know, the other one we did 6.5 minus 0.86. Now we are going to do 4.5 plus 1.14. You know, these are all in percent, right? The rates, they are all in percent. I have a few notes that I put under here, but it's just to buttress your answer or explain your answer. But I guess you understand everything now, and I don't want to dictate it so that we'll not be doing back and forth too much. So we'll just leave that. But I guess everybody now understands what this question is about, how to approach FROA questions. See, this thing we are doing, this question we just solve. If you understand this question from beginning, if I were you, use this logic, go and solve any FROA past question. Solve any FROA past question. The only difference is going to be maybe the numbers and all. It's the same logic. You get? It's the same logic. So if I were you, I would just go ahead and start solving those questions. I believe this question has laid a solid foundation for us, because it gave us two scenarios that we have looked at, and we all have good understanding. So solve other questions. Maybe they can give you in areas. If they give you in areas, it's even still cheaper. You don't have to discount. But if they give you at the time of borrowing, which is mostly the cases, you just have to discount. Go and solve question. You are good to go. You have my blessings. You are good to go. You get. Efe, is it that you were raising hand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I just want to confirm.
Okay.
The final answer you will have is 244,499.
No. For the second one, we have
Yes.
278,049. That is
You have what?
278. Me, I have 278,049, but we all agreed at 278,000. So if your answer is anything around 278,000, you are very close or most likely correct.
It's 244,000.
No, then you are way wrong.
In my numerator, I have 250,000. In my
It's
denominator, I have
278,729.
Yes, 278,729.
In your numerator, you have 285,000, and in your denominator, you have 1.0225.
Our denominator is the same. It's the numerator that is different.
Then you did something. So you are doing 0.0114% and 0.0114 times 50 million times 0.5. 0.0114 times 50 million times 0.5. You get 285,000.
Please, how
I'm
do you get the
progressing. Thank you.
0.114?
Now,
I think
the
that
0.014 is gotten as a result of, if you look at your screen, don't look at your book now. You see this 4.5 minus 6.4.
yes.
You get
Okay.
5.64 rather. So that is how
Okay,
you,
I
or
was
you do
using
5.64 again.
5.50. Okay, thank you.
No, now we already agreed our FRO is here now. Why are you using this? Is your spot rate as at the time of planning. This is the market interest rate as at the time of planning. You get.
Sorry, man.
Okay, let's proceed, please. So the next question, another good Samaritan, only people from Samaria. Somebody should read this question, this requirement here.
Okay, it says
This
compute
one is
use of interest rate future for FRA in this instance.
okay. So this is something you guys can answer now. We've learned futures. What are the peculiarities of futures? So, okay, for the sake of time, let me not put it as a question. Let me just give you the answer. So what you are going to do in your notes, you do something like a table, right? In a table format. At your right hand side, you have right criteria. In the middle, you write interest rate futures, and in the far right, you have FRA. So they are simply just saying compare FRA and futures. FRA, we know FRA is the same thing as forward rates, right? FRA is the same thing as forward rates. And when we learned forward rates, we gave you all the features there. Interest rate futures is the same thing as futures contracts. When we learned futures, I gave you all the features there. So it's simply comparing futures and this thing. But in this case, you are just bringing in the concept of interest. But it's the same thing as comparing futures contract and forward contract. Nobody. I told you about customized and standardized. Which contract is customized and which one is standardized?
Interest is standardized, and FRA is
Madam,
customized.
stop. Madam, stop. Madam, stop. No, sir. No, ma. You are wrong. You say interest is customized. Not that. We are talking about the contract, not the rate. So which one is customized and which one is standardized?
Future contract.
Wow. Okay, which of these contracts between FRA and what was it called? Between FRA and futures, which one is traded on an exchange and which one is traded on the OTC? Eh?
FRA is traded on OTC.
Okay.
Why future is
Between FRA and futures, which one is they are exchange traded? Futures are exchange traded. FRA are which, in terms of liquidity, which one has more liquidity and which one is less liquid? In terms of liquidity, which one has more liquidity and which one is less liquid? Which one is easier to trade?
Futures are liquid.
Good.
Why
Forward rates are less liquid.
less
So I'm giving you
liquid.
this thing. I'm like, as I'm saying it like this, I'm giving you should be writing it too.
Oh.
But I want to ensure that you guys still know these things. Now,
I'm not writing anything, no.
Oh, my brother, sorry, the train has left you. You should be writing, no, because all these things I'm telling you, I've told you before. It's not the first time. Or am I lying? Have I not mentioned this thing before in this class? We've mentioned it before. So one is mark to market, one is settled based on the transaction. Which one is mark to market? I have explained what mark to market is. Which one is mark to market?
A future contract
Futures is
marketing to market.
Futures are mark to market. That is one where we were explaining all those margin, why they have to place a margin call, why they have to place why we have the initial margin, why we have the maintenance margin, what happens when they place it. All those things is because it's mark to market. As the market is moving, your account is moving. Your account can be increasing or decreasing based on the market movement. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, now we did all this now. Yes, and in that class I explained all this too. But I explained that forward rate agreements, because they are OTC traded, the transaction is settled outside the exchange, right? So the transaction is not mark to market. It is based on the time frame of that agreement. Which one is standardized? For futures contracts are standardized. Forward contracts are customized. And I explain what customized is and what standardized is, but I'm not explaining it in this class. You go and look for it. It's in the notes there. Or search Google. Google is your friend. So these are just some of the comparisons, right? These are just some of the comparisons. These are the comparisons between futures rate and forward rate. So in the table I told you to do, you will go under criteria, you will put customization. Number one, customization, right? Or if you want to put it under, and it's the same thing as customized, where you have customize under customization, under FRA you put customized, under futures you put standardized. The next one you go, you put market under the criteria. The market we have already explained. Forward rate agreements are traded on OTC. So under forward rate, you put OTC. OTC is the same thing as over the counter. While in futures, you put exchange traded. The next criteria is liquidity. Under future, you put less liquid. Under FRA, you put less liquid. Under futures, you put more liquid. The next one you go is credit risk. Yes, I've not asked about credit risk. Between FRA and futures, which one have possibility of credit default or default risk?
FRA.
FRA, there is a good chance of default risk. So under credit risk, you put FRA has higher credit risk. Then in futures have lower credit risk. We all understand what we mean by FRA. What we mean by credit risk, right? Or default risk, all those kind of things. Then mark to market. Mark to market. FRA settled at the start of the loan. FRA settled at start of the loan. Interest rate futures, daily settlement. FRA mark to market. Sorry, under mark to market, FRA settled at start of the loan. Interest rate futures, daily settlements. Now we have succeeded in, if you do this, if you just put this, you are fine. They will give you your full mark, I believe. However, the question says, compare the use of interest rate futures with FRA in this instance. Having stated the futures, the differences between FRA and futures, if I were you, to maximize my chances, right? To maximize my chances, I will go under and I will write, for Katangawa, FRA is better suited, because they say compare the use, right? Which one is better suited and why? So you say for Katangawa, FRA is better suited because, number one, it matches the borrowing period. You understand? So FRA, we have different periods, right? Like the question say 3 to 9 months FRA, and this question is also telling us the period that we want to borrow. So we are now explaining why Katangawa should use FRA. You say FRA, use FRA if you can explain why futures make more sense with convincing. I'm just telling you, this is my own answer. But if you can convince them, on why futures is better with relevant information or relevant facts, you can go ahead and do what you understand. But this is my own, right? So for Katangawa, FRA is better suited because it matches the borrowing period. Number two, they can fix the rate now, which is the same thing that we said in your starting period, right? In your planning period, you can fix the rates now, unlike futures, where the futures, you have the futures rate that you have already locked in, and then it will be matching against the market as the market is moving. You get. But FRA, you can fix the rate now. Then the last one, it is less complex than futures. It is less complex. FRA is very easy to understand and use. Futures is more complex, right? Futures is a more complex tool to use. So these are my reasons why FRA makes more sense. Then the final one, we still have 4 minutes. My intention is to teach you swap today. So I will see how, when if I start dictating this thing now, it's just about, it's not long, but you guys will keep dragging me back. The last one say, explain how interest rate guarantees or short-term interest, how interest rate guarantees or short-term interest rate cap can be used. Okay, let me explain. Then I will dictate. I just have to do it. But please, if you are a slow writer for this particular time now, I beg, try to add some speed to your hand. Please, I won't be going back too much. I will go back, but I won't be going back too much. I'm sorry if you call me back and I don't respond to you. I'm apologizing ahead. So now, when we talk about guarantees, right? Guarantees are like, they help us to lock in interest rates. Just like all these rate things that we're edging, this thing that we have been explaining, right? When you say interest rate guarantees, any contracts that you go into that helps you to lock in interest rates is an interest rate guarantee. So any contract that you are going into that will enable you to hedge or lock in interest rates for whatever purpose you want to achieve is an interest rate guarantee. However, interest rate cap is a collection of different interest rate guarantees. So when you have many interest rate guarantees together, you are now looking at interest rate gap and cap. So maybe you lock in different contracts, futures, FRA, any other kind of contract that you use to lock in interest rates. The collection of them is called interest rate cap. Do you understand? But when you are looking at a single one, It is called interest rate guarantee. Do you get? Do you get what I just explained, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me dictate. Let me dictate. Please be on your bike. Write with speed. I beg you. Use of interest rates, guarantees or caps, right? Oh, Judith, so I should accept that. Oh. But I'm not seeing Judith here. Add people. I'm not seeing anybody here. But Judith, you are already in now. For you to be able to chat on this place, it means you are in now.
I want to log on my other device. This phone wants to go off.
Oh yeah, log in quickly. You have 2 seconds. Once I see the pop-up, I will let you in.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So, but I will not wait for you. Okay, I'm a good person, Sha. I have a good heart. Let me wait for her for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds are passing. All right, let's continue. Uses of interest rate guarantees or caps. Have you taken that? Now, the first one, interest rate guarantees, in brackets IRG, is an option-based contract between a borrower, in brackets, or a lender. Interest rate guarantees, in brackets IRG, is an option-based contract between a borrower, in brackets, or lender. Interest rate guarantees, in brackets IRG, is an option-based contract between a borrower, in brackets, lender, close your brackets, and a financial institution to lock in a maximum, open bracket again, or minimum. You don't need to be writing maximum and minimum complete. Just max and min, you are fine. Later, go and complete your notes. Interest rate guarantees, IRG, is an option-based contract between a borrower or lender, close brackets, between a borrower, open bracket, or lender, close bracket, and a financial institution to lock in a maximum, open bracket, or minimum, close bracket. And a financial institution to lock in a maximum, open bracket, or minimum, close bracket. Interest rates for a future borrowing or lending transaction. Interest rates for a future borrowing or lending transaction. I'm taking it from the very top again, and I'm not repeating any line. If I get to this full stop, that's the end of it. So I believe everybody would have written it in or two. Just cross your eyes and dot your T's, right? Dot your eyes and cross your T's. Interest rate guarantees, IRG, is an option-based contract between a borrower, open bracket, or lender, and a financial institution to lock in a maximum or a minimum interest rate for a future borrowing or lock in a maximum, open bracket, or minimum, close bracket, interest rate for a future borrowing or lending transaction. We are done with that paragraph. The next one is interest rate cap. Interest rate cap. Interest rate cap is a series of IRGs. So by IRGs, IRU, then small IRG, caps lock or capital letter, all of them, then small letter S, right? So you know what I'm talking about is interest rate guarantees. Interest rate cap is a series of IRGs covering multiple periods, like a package of IRGs that protect a borrower over a longer period, e.g. over a year. So like I said, they are a collection of all the IRGs that you have entered in a particular period. You understand? So now the question, I believe, it says we should explain how interest rates or short-term interest rate cap could be used. So the uses, number one, they protect against rising interest rates, as you should already know. The borrower pays a premium upfront to get the right to cap the rate. So just like when we were talking about options and all those things, right? Where you have to pay a premium and all that. The borrower pays a premium. Number one, they protect against rising interest rate. Number two, the borrower pays a premium to get the right to cap the rate. The borrower pays a premium to get the right to cap the rate. Number three, if rate goes above the cap, if rate goes above the cap, I think I've made a mistake here. It's not supposed to be the cap. It's supposed to be the counterparty pays the difference. Counterparty, not cap. I made a mistake in my notes. It's supposed to be counterparty pays the difference.
Please come again for number 3, please.
If rate goes above the cap, if rate goes above the cap, the counterparty pays the difference. If rate goes above the cap, the counterparty pays the difference. If rate stays below the cap, the borrower enjoys the lower rate. So the idea is to ensure that you don't pay higher, you don't pay rates above. You know, when they say a cap is like the height of it. It's like saying ceiling and floors, right? Ceiling is the highest it can go, floor is the lowest it can go. So in this case, because it's interest rates, we are looking at the ceiling. We don't want it to go below, above that particular. So the cap is like the ceiling. So if the rate actually goes above that cap, the counterparty pays us the difference. But if it stays below the cap, we enjoy the difference, because our idea is just to cap it. That's why you pay the premium. So the counterparty receives a premium to compensate for any potential loss we incur in the future. It's just like option, use that option ideas to look at it, right? So with everything I have told you here, ladies and gentlemen, we have solved this question, and I believe we are good to go on forward rate agreements. We are going to solve more questions, and when we solve them, we'll solve them with ease and more understanding. So I believe I've done justice to forward rate agreements. We only have 2 more topics to go, and I want to introduce the one we are looking at next, swaps. Now we are going to look at swaps. On Wednesday, we'll look at interest rate and exchange rate swaps. Maybe if we have time, attempt one past question. Then the Oga Patapata of them all will be what is it called? Black and Scholes option pricing model. If God bless us with time, we can look at the binomial probability that relates to option pricing, right? But for now, let's just look at swaps. So we have taken the whole day to solve this question, which is not what I expected. My target was 1 hour. So swaps, I want you to go and read your notes. Read everything here. I'm going to use 5 minutes to explain swaps, right? And I'm not explaining from this note. I'm just going to explain based on my understanding. When you come on Wednesday, I'm hoping we can meet on Wednesday. But if we don't, then I will come in on Friday. If I can't make it on Friday, then on Saturday morning, we will see again. I've told nobody, all my visitors, not to come in the morning. I'm going to be busy. So on Saturday morning, we will see, just like last week. This time there will be no poll. I will just fix the time. So if we don't meet Wednesday, we'll meet Friday. If we don't meet Friday, we'll do Saturday morning. So no poll, right? So I'm just going to add straight up here. Saturday morning is fine, right?
No.
It's not fine for you, Lucky. Sorry.
Not really. Not really.
It's not fine for you, Adams. Okay. For those of you that is saying that Saturday morning is not fine, you just have to pray that we meet on Wednesday or on Friday, right? You just have to pray.
God will make you available, sir. We meet on Wednesday and Friday by God's grace.
Yes, I'm really hoping so too. But if we
God
don't
will make
meet,
it easy for you, sir.
okay, amen. Thank you, sir. But if we don't meet, if we don't meet,
Don't let us doubt. Don't let us doubt God. We will meet.
okay, we will meet, no problem. So let's discuss swaps. So I'm just going. Swaps are very easy, right? Swaps, when you look at forward rate agreements, swaps, they are just so there are two rates involved in a swap. We have
Excuse me, sir.
Can
I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask your question.
Okay, concerning this question we just finished solving. In
Madam.
I'm coming, please just listen to my point. I
Okay.
think I attempted this question in the Pathfinder. Then the rate they used was 5.94. So which means they were wrong.
They use 5.94?
Yes.
No, it's a borrowing rate. It's the borrowing. So we have to, I will go and look at the Pathfinder and understand why they are using 5.94.
Okay,
since we are borrowing, because I didn't solve this from the Pathfinder, but I believe and I'm very sure that since you are borrowing, you need to use your ask price.
Okay. Please, sir, check. I would like you to get back to me so that I'll be sure of what you're doing.
Pathfinder used to do some nonsense sometimes.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I'm with you, sir.
Okay. What I have noticed so far, the rate the normally you is the one that is higher, which is the normal assume that the borrow rate is higher. That's what the normal use for the calculation, even though the position is different. Even the Pathfinder, I solved it. It's the same thing after I finish and I cross-check with Pathfinder. It's the same thing they used there.
5.94.
Yes, 5.94.
5.94 cannot be it. Let me go back to the Pathfinder. Did they state why they are using 5.94?
No, sir.
They just pick 5.94.
Yes.
Yes, they just pick 5.94, but I could remember was it a class something I read or something in class that they said that the borrow rate is always higher. So that is it, sir.
Well, with what I've done in the class here, I gave you a logic behind which rate you should pick. You understand? I gave you a logic behind which rate you should pick. And since the Pathfinder is not giving you a logic, I'm going to suggest that you stick to the logic that was used here. You get?
Oh, okay, sir.
I don't know if they have a solution.
Okay, sir.
However, one thing I want to point out again, accuracy is very important, don't get me wrong. But what you are writing, what is more important is your step. I believe at this level, each one of you already know. So even if you use 5.94, you will not fail this answer. However, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a fact, but I know that they will mark your step. If you apply the formula correctly and do everything, and at the end of the day, you are using 5.94 instead of 5.64, you should get your answer clean and clear. You get what I'm saying? Your steps should be correct. However, it is when you are now doing something entirely different. Maybe you are using the spot rate as your FRA rate. Use one of these and your steps are correct. I can still give you a good mark. Probably half or something, but you still get mark. But that is not what I'm telling you to do. I'm just telling you that you will not fail entirely if you use this, right? On the other hand, If they did not give you a logic, I would have loved to see their solve computation live in this class so that we understand it. But because of time, I would have loved to, let me see if they provided solution in this, because what I have here is a collection of many packs over the years. Okay, they have. Which question are we looking at? Question 5. Question 5. Right? This one is economic order quantity. Which question solution? Okay, they just pick 9494, 5.94. We should use a 3.93 to 9 months FRA, who should lock us in the borrowing rate of 5.94. This is not sufficient. You are giving two rates. You are giving two rates, right? You are giving two rates, 5.94 and 5.64. Now, you are borrowing. So if you are borrowing, it's just like what we are saying, long and short, right? If you are borrowing, it means in your hedging, you have to be using alternative hedging technique, so that if this one is going wrong, you will be gaining in your hedging. Do you get the logic? Hey, are you guys even seeing my screen?
Yes, we are, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm saying is, if you know how we have been doing hedging, if we borrow, we are going to short and to long, right, in our hedging, so that if we are losing from our borrowing, our long will be giving us profit. If we lend, we are going to short, so that if we are losing money here, we are gaining from our this thing. That is the same logic. So if you are doing one thing, your hedging technique should be the opposite. Do you get what I'm saying? That is how hedging works. So your hedging technique should always be the opposite of what you are doing. So you cannot be borrowing and still be using the bid price. You have to go and use the ask price. So I will stick by my answer. The reason why they are using 5.94 here. But like I said, if you end up using 5.94, if you see this question, if you end up using 5.94 and you use 5.64, for accuracy, do what I've told you. But if you end up using the wrong rate, you will still get mark. You will still get mark. Maybe not 100%, but you'll be very close to a good A. I guess this settles it. You have taken into my time that I want to use to explain swap. Let me just give you the idea. So I'm progressing now. I'm leaving this question, right? Because they did not give us any clear logic why they are using this. So if you are going to explain if you are going to say FRA should lock us in the borrowing rate of 5.94, what happens? Why are we not using this? Why are we not using this? You get? So if it should lock us at 5.94, it should also lock us at 5.64. So I'm going to stick with what I know and what I've told you. I've given you the logic. If I can give us a logic of why they are using this, then we can say, okay, we are wrong, they are right. But for now, since they cannot defend it, stick to this. Because this is what I know and this is what is correct. Okay. So, swaps. How swap work? The basic idea behind swap is that there is a floating rate and there is a fixed rate, right? So the floating rate is locked. Two parties, one take the floating rate, the other party take the fixed rate. And then the rates are compared periodically as the movement goes by, right? So if the floating the fixed rate stays one place, the fixed rate can be 5%. The floating rate can be moving like 10%, 7%, and 3%, 4%. If the floating rate is higher than the fixed rate, one party will give the other party money. We settle the other party. So the two of them will do the interest rate based on the floating rate and the fixed rate per time. Then the net off, whichever one is higher, they will do a net off and pay. So let me assume that me and Madam Ife go into a swap agreement. She decides to hold the floating rate. I decide to hold the fixed rate. If the fixed rate is 5% and the loan amount is 10, the principal is 10,000 naira, right? It's 10,000 naira. I'm holding Madam Ife, which rate are you holding? Which rate did I say you are holding? Floating or fixed?
Floating.
You are holding floating, okay. If you are holding the floating and I'm holding the fixed, now the floating is what is moving. Now, so let's assume at the day of our agreement, settlement date, if the floating is 6% and the fixed rate is 5%, you will do 6% on 10,000 naira. I will do 5% on 10,000 naira. So 6% on 10,000 naira is how much? Around how much? That's 600 naira,
600
right?
naira.
Me, I will do 500 naira. So because we do 600 and 500 naira, you know there's a difference of 100 naira, and you are getting that difference, that's extra 100 naira. I'm losing, I'm losing that this thing, that's 100 naira. So the person that is getting the higher value as at the point of settlement will settle the other party. You get, that's how swap work. So that's how you will be doing it throughout the loan period. As you are doing that, if you check all the swaps you would have done within that loan period, you will see that you would have hedged your exposure on the actual loan. You get, because you'll be receiving settlement or making payments based on the interest rate differences over the period of that loan. You get. So we'll look at how swap work on exchange rate and interest rates. We'll look at that and we'll conclude with swaps. We'll solve one or two questions, one question most likely, solve one question and we'll call it a day. So on this note, thank you very much for turning up today. Hopefully I see you on Wednesday. I wish you all the best for the week and have a good night rest. Bye.
So much appreciate. Thank you very much, sir.
All
Thank you,
right.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.